Collapsus was interesting nonetheless. I've never really participated in anything like it, but I thought it was really cool. I was a little confused at first as to what I had to do throughout it, because throughout watching it, the audience member actually has to participate in it. And there are, skips. You can click skip if you don't want to participate in something in particular, but, I tried to participate in everything that I could, and some of the gaming things were actually really fun. In one of the commentaries of the Collapsus that the Collapsus provides for the audience, it says that an audience for a documentary is dying, and the average age for a person to watch a documentary is age 55 and up. Which, honestly, which I can believe, because me as a 19-year-old girl, I'm really not that interested in watching documentaries, especially when they have to do with something like this was, like Collapsus was. It has to do with something around the world and talking about oil and politics and global stuff, and to me that's just not as interesting as Finding Nemo, say. But so I think that as this piece, as it involves this kind of global and political stuff, that it brings a great interest across to an audience member very well, because it's not like your normal documentary where it's just, here's an interview of an important person, and here's their name, and then you switch to another person, and on and on and on. Whereas this was interactive, the audience member could actually participate in some things. There was a part where you could go into the world and like into Great Britain or into the Middle East and up their oil or up their wind power and take away some of their coal power to try to balance the country. And I was just kind of clicking buttons. Like, I really didn't have a plan of how which things I was choosing was going to make it any better, the country any better. So I'm not really sure if I would have done something different, if it would have had a different outcome in the video I was watching. I doubt it, but that's always something to think about. That's interesting. I think transmedia work in general is pretty cool, because you're bringing about lots of different aspects of media, putting them together, and I think it kind of can speak to really anybody. This specifically spoke to me through the video work, because that's kind of what I want to edit. I want to do video work. So I was looking at how the shots were composed, the quality of the acting, which wasn't that good. And although the gaming was fun for me, that probably would have been more fun for somebody who's an actual gamer or game design person, and they would have probably had a lot more to critique about it too. Like, I just played the games or did the little activities that you had to do to advance to the next part of the video, and it was fun for me. But there was nothing analytical about it, because I don't really look at game design. My own transmedia work in this course honestly has been fun, just because I've gotten to do more things than just video, and I think it's good to have a variety of things like that. I got to work with sound and sound effects and music, and I got to work with video, I got to work with game design. So I think that's important, because every little thing speaks to different people in a different way. And I believe that throughout the work that I've done with this course, it's definitely changed the way I look at creative things that I do. I know I've mentioned this in a blog post before, how I really do feel very benefited from having the chance and the opportunities to do all of this different work, because I really get a sense of what I'm good at. And I also learn about myself as a creative person. I've done things throughout this course that I really, would never have done on my own. I only did it because it was required of me to do. But I think that's a good thing, because the more things that I did, the better I got at understanding how I am as a creative person, and what I'm good at and what I'm not good at and what I should stick with. So all in all, I think transmedia is a good thing, because it provides every different aspect with it. To be honest, a few parts in Collapsus I got a little annoyed with, just because, some of it was technical difficulty, so I know, the producers have no control in that. But I don't know, some of the other things, like having to go watch the news report videos, or even doing that coal and mining and wind energy switches on my own. I don't know anything about that, so for me to do that, like I said, it was just really clicking buttons. But it's a good advantage to a lot of people, and a good advantage to a lot of producers to try to reel in those people, like I said, who don't want to watch the documentary, but they'll watch something like this because it's more interactive and it's more fun.